Good evening. My name is Gerry Zand. Among many things in my life I'm very proud of, one of my roles is a freight train rider, and I'm here to tell you about that tonight. Really quickly, I want to make a disclaimer. Nothing I tell you in this presentation is anything I would advocate that you would do. So, this is very dangerous and even life-threatening or deadly. Hoboing has been going on since the 1860s, after the Civil War. You see a couple pictures here, over the ages. People do it for many reasons, to get away from society, to see the planet, to view the scenery. It's a great exercise in how to be self-sufficient and get away from society. There's a lot of elements about trains. Trains are made of cars, different kinds of cars. There's dozens of cars that carry different types of cargo, and there are units or locomotives that we call them. There's even cabooses, which have been out of circulation for the last 15 years, but are coming back in. A good hobo reads a train. They look at a train. They can tell where the train's going, what it's carrying, what the priority of the train is, if it's a fast train or a slow train. Hobos of old only had a few tools, as I just indicated, to the knowledge of the railroads and the trains to tell them where the trains went, what they did. Today, we have many more tools. We have cell phones, we have GPS, we have smartphones. We have one right here. We have scanners that tell us where the trains are going. We get on the internet and immediately tell where a specific car is headed. There are many hazards to hoboing. You have the weather, you have the inexperience of riders, which is a deadly thing, actually. You have doubles, which is another word for the railroad police. You have train derailments. You see a rail going bad here in the picture, and you have rail fans who will call you in on their cell phones if they see you on the trains. Special agents is another word for the railroad bulls or the railroad police. These are federally sanctioned police. They have multi-jurisdiction. They can pull you over for a traffic ticket as well as pulling you off a train. So you may get pulled over someday from a traffic ticket by a railroad police. To avoid capture by railroad police, you need to be aware of your surroundings. You need to be 2 steps ahead of the police. That means not in the bushes next to that guy. You need to be on the other side of that train when it's coming, and you would need to be jumping on that train to get away from that guy. You see a ticket here that I got about 10 years ago, and you see a typical railroad police. This is in Sacramento, scanning a train going by. Railroad workers are a great source of intelligence for train operations. They can tell you where trains are going. You would never want to surprise a railroad worker. You want to announce yourself, and you want to let them know you're there and let them know what's going on. Hobo etiquette, it's very important. This is taken under the steel bridge about 10 years ago. These are a couple hobos that I've ridden with in the past. These guys, I'm running out of time here. Finding a train, there's 3 places to find trains. A railroad yard, we have many of them around Portland. Crew change points, this is where trains pull in and change crews. And you have places where trains move very slowly. For example, coming over the Columbia River Bridge into Portland from Vancouver. Getting on a train, it's very important to know how to get on a train. It's best not to get on a moving train. It's best to get on a stationary train. You don't want to be up near the engines. You want to be back towards the back of the train. Getting off of the train, you always throw your gear off first. The test to get off the train safely is you get down the ladder and you touch your foot to the ground. It kicks you in the butt quickly. That means it's going too fast. When it's going slow enough, you don't kick yourself in the butt. You get down, you run with the train, and you push away. You push away from the train, and that keeps you safe. Gearing up, you need to travel lightly, meaning you need to have 30 pounds or less of gear. You need to have lots of water. You need to have lots of food. When you're catching out, when you're going to a location, you need to know, number 1, where you want to go. Number 2, you need to pack appropriately. Like I just said, you need to carry appropriate clothing, food, water, etc. And lastly, and most importantly, you need to be patient. You might wait 2 days for a train to get where you're going, and that's okay. You just need to be able to entertain yourself. There's a lot of resources on the internet. A couple books here I mentioned. A website run by my very good friend North Bank Fred down in California. And lastly, how can you say no to a view like this? Thank you very much.